15 must-see attractions in Washington, D.C. Being home to some of the most interesting museums and monuments in the world, Washington, D.C. is one place in the U.S. that will definitely excite the history buff in you. If you have ever been fascinated by the historic stories of war, power, and glory, then this is one city you ought to explore during your trip to the USA. Here's our guide to the 15 must-see attractions in Washington, D.C. Number 1. Lincoln Memorial. One of the major Washington, D.C. tourist attractions, the Lincoln Memorial is dedicated to the 16th President of the U.S. Abraham Lincoln. Though it is not its architecture that is the most beautiful thing about it, rather it is its reflection that makes it look more majestic when seen in the pool. This memorial is a perfect place to visit if you wish to start your trip on a historic note. Number 2. Washington Monument. Yet another structure that was built in the name of a powerful man, the Washington Monument is one of the top places to see in Washington, D.C. It was built to honor the first ever president, Washington, D.C., whose name later also inspired the city's name. An attraction with such interesting stories ought to be on your trip itinerary. Number 3. United States Capitol. Recognized around the world as a symbol of the United States, the Capitol is the seat of the House of Representatives and the Senate. This world-famous domed building is not only a center of U.S. democracy but an architectural marvel as well. The building's north wing, south wing, and circular centerpiece, the rotunda, are the major attractions, while its iconic hall, marvelous paintings, frescoes, the Statue of Freedom, and sculptures reflect American history. Number 4. The White House. In Washington, D.C., places to visit are innumerable, but an attraction like the White House is something you cannot afford to miss. Not just the city, but the whole nation is known because of this pure white building, which is famed to be the president's residence. And while you won't be able to take a full tour of the house, a visit to some of its parts will still make you feel like royalty. Number 5. National Air and Space Museum. If you're someone who loves planes and rockets, then this is the right place for you to visit. This museum provides an insight into the history of planes and aircrafts and also the process of building them. Visiting this place will surely make you feel proud of how far human imagination has reached. Number 6. Washington National Cathedral. Witness the glorious architecture and the rich culture of the American city by visiting the famous National Cathedral. One of the top places to visit in the city, this church offers a peaceful and heavenly environment. So, even if you're not too religious, make sure you stop by this place to soak in a little bliss. Number 7. Arlington National Cemetery. The final resting place for thousands of servicemen and women, the Arlington National Cemetery is home to the graves of President Kennedy, the astronauts on board the Space Shuttle Challenger, which exploded just after takeoff in 1986, and the tomb of the unknown soldier, which has had an uninterrupted guard since 1937. The white headstones that seem to stretch to the horizon are a striking and somber tribute. Number 8. Smithsonian National Zoo. Animal lovers and families alike will enjoy a day at the National Zoo. The zoo is free and houses thousands of animals for you to meet. The zoo is open from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. If you are visiting in the summer, come early to avoid the crowds and the afternoon heat. Number 9. National Museum of Natural History. One of the most fascinating places to visit in Washington, D.C., the museum is home to a great collection of over 140 million natural science specimens. With exhibits such as Hope Diamond, Ocean Hall, Hall of Human Origins, dinosaur exhibits, the interactive Discovery Room, etc., the place is truly marvelous, and a fabulous destination to explore with kids and friends. Number 10. Georgetown Historic District. The oldest neighborhood of Washington, D.C., the Georgetown Historic District is full of architectural to natural beauty, Michelin-approved restaurants, boutique shops, cafes, and small museums to scenic waterfront. If you're looking for a place to enjoy yourself with your partner at night or hang out with friends or have some great time with family, this is an idyllic destination to be. Include this place in your places to see in the Washington list and have a cherishable time. Number 11, Jefferson Memorial. Located along the bank of the tidal basin, the Jefferson Memorial is one of the oldest and most imposing Washington, D.C. tourist places. It is dedicated to the late Thomas Jefferson, one of the most important America's founding fathers. The domed white memorial is designed taking inspiration from the famed Roman Pantheon and comprises 54 Ionic columns, and a dramatic 9-foot statue of a standing Jefferson. Number 12, Mount Vernon Estate. Home to a restored mansion, beautiful gardens, and historic structures, Mount Vernon Estate is one of the most iconic places to visit in Washington, D.C. for being George Washington's Virginia house and its cultural attractions. Wander through the area to feel like a native while watching horses in their 16-sided barn, blacksmiths working in their shops, or heritage breed animals grazing at the Pioneer Farm, and enjoy a memorable experience. Number 13, National Gallery of Art. Housed in two separate buildings connected by a tunnel, the National Gallery of Art is one of the world's premier art museums and one of the most popular in the US. Treat the art lover within by visiting this art gallery, which is also one of the best things to see in Washington, D.C. Number 14, United States Holocaust Memorial Museum. The United States Holocaust Memorial Museum documents, studies, and interprets the history of the Holocaust with the dual purpose of memorializing the victims and helping the world to confront hatred and prevent genocide. The presentations draw on the enormous collections of more than 12,750 artifacts, 85,000 historical photographs, 9,000 oral history testimonies, as well as archival footage and records of survivors and their families. A visit to the museum is a sobering experience. Number 15, Library of Congress. An underground passage with historical exhibits leads from the Capitol building to one of Washington's little-known places to visit, the Library of Congress. It's the world's largest library, modeled on the Opera House in Paris. You can visit portions on your own, but free tours disclose even more of its beautiful interior. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to this channel.